used to be, I used to have his own speaker. It was in a cabinet. It was heavy, and it had an internal speaker plus the jack to power the extension speakers. Now, I converted it into a head, and it's very simple. This is all it is. This is maple. This side is the legs. And so when I carry it like that in one hand. And that will run a total of 4 and 4, that's 8 speakers, 12-inch at 16 ohms. So it's quite a beast. I've got it so it's accessible. I cleaned the tubes as best I could, and I'll be putting it back together and hopefully you'll see the different things I had to do. I stripped it down to the metal chassis, then found these two sides and shaped them this way so that when you look at it this way, then you got your input and everything. It doesn't have a standby switch. It's just on or off, and that's it. It's got a pilot light. That's about it. It's got an effect loop. I don't use the clean channel. I always use the gain channel, and I just adjust it to whatever, from clean relatively to super sat. Now, in front of this goes a familiar logo. One of them. This is the Cassic-30 logo. I'm going to sit down here once I find my screwdriver. Okay. Alright, so I put this back together. It's bolts here. I just got to find the where it starts to start it. I left them on because I knew it would, well, more or less, I knew it would hang in there. But now I got a problem with getting it through, as usual. The devil's in the details. He knows a lot of them about everybody. Alright, so this one here, I should have just waited. Well, I can still do it. In other words, there's a little flag here, there, and another one over here. And what they do is they hold the front. I forgot about that, so that's why I'm doing this. Basically, it'll hold that. I'll back this off a little bit so I can play with it. Real life trauma. No, I'm just kidding. Tediosities. They abound in this realm. Oops, did I say realm? Yes, you did. You did say realm. Alright, so this is the one that's having problems me getting around that washer. Alright. Hopefully my head's not in the way or anything. I got lights behind me, lights overhead, and it should work out. Alright. Now the bottom ones, normally they would be loose if I was on top of the ball, These would be loose enough, and I just would have to back these off a little bit to give it some more play. Alright, so that's the front of it. You saw all the electronics you can get at. resistors, capacitors, transistors, oh well, maybe not, diodes, whatever, transformer stuff. Now in the back, you look in the camera, see what's up. Oh, it might have been in front. Shoot, I won't know. I'm not sure, but basically this is how the tubes are accessed, and it would normally be when you buy the amp, it'll be like this, and the speaker will be down here, and that's how it would run. However, to turn it into a head, all I had was a chassis to work with, steel, and I thought this is a better idea. I could put it on top of my my rig, which is a 16 ohm speaker by Electro Voice, 200 watts RMS. It's a monster. So it's a nice little thing, and it was easy for me to go from a church to another church, and or to a jam session and stuff, or to a club that we can get a job or something. All right, so now it's a matter of putting this back in. And I got some screws here. I hope that didn't come out too bad. I know that I was in front of the camera, but I was hoping the camera could sneak over my shoulder, and maybe it did. I don't know, man. I'm not much of a cameraman, All you gotta do is point it and click. Okay. Right. That's why you can go to the University of Nothing But Photography. Motion pictures and all that stuff. And then the tech to go with it. Sheesh. Yep. So I chopped it, as they would say. And the only thing is, when you're playing outdoors and it starts to rain, you better grab that big, thick, green garbage bag and put it over these tubes, because water and a hot tube don't mix, Oh, I gotta run it that way. It shouldn't tighten it. I should just kind of smooth it. I think I gotta use a smaller screw on that one. Success! It came with tons of anxiety and tediosities galore. Oh, galore. Yeah, it was galore now. So I thought I'd do something different. It's, let's say for instance, this is the jack for the speaker that was already in it, right? I mean, I had to put the jack there, but the wires were there. And I still have the speaker jack out for 16 ohms and a remote switch. That's for switching from clean to saturated or overdrive. But since I don't use all that, I use just the tone controls and the volumes and the gain settings is how I get around all that. Because I don't like the clean channel. It just does not get it when I stomp on it. It just doesn't get it. So that's why I use the lead channel. In some occasions I'll use Waza or rectifier or dual rectifier settings, because those things are expensive. Dual rectifier, and it'll give you a real deep sensation of what losing your hearing is and ringing in the ear. My goodness, I never noticed that until after that guy was playing that dual rectifier in this tiny little club, and just, oh my God. And I think he was miking it on top of that to boot. 'Cause I know it was coming out of the PA too. Big, huge system. Wow, man. Yeah, we are rock and roll band, and we like it loud. We have just the right club for you. So basically, there it is. Like I said, no standby switch, just on or off. The pilot lets you know that it's on. Effects loop, it does have send and return. It has passive resistors for volume, for the bass, mid, and treble. Very old-fashioned. And then the clean channel just has pre and post. So you switch it to overdrive, you use the pre. I think you use the post too. Yeah, that's like the master. But I like the getting, on this one I have to give it more gain, almost 8, because it's, it's stubborn like most British people, this is British voiced, including the bad teeth, lousy disposition. No, I'm just kidding. They're my friends over the pond, the other side of the pond. So that's basically that. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna import it now and check and see what I did wrong. God bless.